won't rebel about the fact they're not, because they believe they are. And once you start breaking this human society down, this program, then you start to realize how unfree freedom really is. There's slavery of the body, that's easy to see. But the key to human slavery is slavery of the mind. And this is a guy called Edward Bernays, writing in a book in 1928 called Propaganda. This guy is still today called the father of PR, what we call spin. And he said, we are governed, our minds are molded, our tastes formed, our ideas suggested, largely by men we have never heard of. People are rarely aware of the real reasons which motivate their actions. And the reason for that is what I call the program. One big program. This is what human life is from cradle to grave. It's a download of a perceptual program that we are meant to stick with and believe in for the rest of our lives. Human life from cradle to grave, symbolically with the headset on, the virtual reality game, believing we're seeing all there is to see, when what we're seeing and perceiving is only what we are being given to see and perceive. And it kind of works like this. You come out of the womb as a child, and immediately your perceptions of everything are influenced by your parents, not because of malevolence, but because they've been through the sequence you're about to go through, and they've believed in it, and they're doing their best by passing it on to you. And, I mean, it's incredible. You've just come into the world, you've only been here 3 or 4 years, and now you're sitting at a desk with an authority figure telling you when you have to be there, when you can leave, when you can talk, when you can go to the toilet, what is, what isn't, what's good, what's bad, what's possible, what's impossible, what's happened in what we call history, what hasn't. You've only just arrived. And then you go from school to work, and everything changes then, because when you were a kid at school, your mother would come in and say, hey, you've got to get up, you're going to be late for school, what would the teacher say? And then when you go out into the world of work, it all changes. Because your partner then comes in and says, quick, get out of bed. You're going to be late for work. What will the boss say? And it's the same program, just slightly changing the wording. And then you go through the world of work, and you have a family, and you produce children, and then the whole sequence starts again. And it works like this. Get them in, give them labels they self-identify with, and then keep them confused, not least by that, and then get them out and you get another lot in. And we're told what to like, we're told what questions to ask about reality. Crucially, we're told what to fear, four-letter word that controls the world. I never let my life pass me by, I live in the real world. Yeah, the real world. That's what they're talking about. I hear that all the time. I live in the real world, mate. Yeah, you do, yeah. The real world that they give us. And this real world, this program, I call the postage stamp consensus. What it is, it's a tiny band of possibility based on limitation. And in there is what is, what isn't, what's possible, what's impossible, how things are, how things aren't. Tiny little band of possibility. And people are downloading the postage stamp the moment they enter the world, right the way to the end, if they allow it to happen. And the postage stamp, what is the postage stamp? Well, hold on, I'm getting something. Oh yes, bullshit. That's what the postage stamp consensus is. And that's the program that we are pressured to conform to throughout our lives, or face ridicule and condemnation for the crime of being different. This is 2 words that describe the postage stamp. Unquestioned belief. Download this narrow band of, ludicrously narrow band of possibility, and how things are, and then don't question it, or else there are consequences. And another word, very relevant here, is familiarity. Very important, this. Because when you come into the world and you get on the postage stamp, things tend to repeat. We become familiar with them. And once something becomes familiar, we stop questioning it. It becomes a gimme. Like kids going to school at the age of 4 or 5, and throughout their entire formative years, the state is giving them the state's version of reality, 5 days a week at least. That's a gimme. Oh yeah, that's how it is, mate. But when you question the familiar, and I've been doing it for 30 years, you find the familiar is in tatters all over the floor in terms of credibility. Imprisoned by the postage stamp, consensus. Imprisoned by education, which is when it's first really downloaded. Get them early, keep them for life. Good morning, children, time for your download. Yeah, you download. Things like freaking algebra. You do that. Algebra. What does X equal? Don't give a damn, mate. Make it equal whatever you like, because whatever you make it will not affect my life. The kids could be climbing trees in the sunshine. But no, they're pondering on what X equals. For the only time in their lives. Study shows kids are born creative geniuses, but education system destroys imagination. Exactly what it is meant to do. And then we're imprisoned by peer pressure, because all the people around us, not so much now, but still largely, have been through this program, bought it, and then jump on anyone who questions it. You're ridiculed, or you're condemned, or whatever, for questioning the program. You must believe what we do. We've given our minds away, you've got to do it. Imprisoned by money, which is imprisoned by lack of choice. If you look at freedom, what is freedom? Freedom is the ability to make choices. The more choices you can make, the more freedom you have. And in the system, and the way it's been created on purpose, money dictates overwhelmingly the choices people have. Thus, money is not really about greed. It appears like that, but with this system, control is its real goal. Imprisoned by surviving, we are the system. We have what you need to survive. You must earn the money from us to survive. So you must do what we say, and you must play the game the way we say you must play it, and then you will earn money, give it back to us, so we'll give you what you need to survive. It's called life. Imprisoned by conformity, imprisoned by postage stamp normal, and if you put that all together, it's the key word, imprisoned by perception. If you can get someone's perception, you have got their life. And so this postage stamp perception is a tiny band of the sense of the possible, a tiny band of the sense of even reality itself, which we are pressured not to step out of. And it is extraordinary how powerful this program is against pure frickin' logic. According to mainstream science, in comparison to the projected size of the universe, planet Earth is the equivalent of a billionth of a pinhead. But you say that life other than human exists in this universe, and he believes in little green men, he does. Well, when you look at the infinity of possibility and the infinity of the universe, even in that way that it's perceived by mainstream science, there probably are somewhere little green men and little green women. Probably little green transgenders, I don't know. But there might. On the basis of probability, it's more likely than not. So when you think that people go through this perceptual program, people start to break out of it now in greater numbers, then is it any wonder that people go through life going, What's it all about, mate? What's happening? That's exactly where we are supposed to be. But an even bigger sobering thought is that all these people that run the institutions that dictate the direction of the world and what is and isn't, what can be, what can't, what's possible, what's impossible, the scientists, the medical people, the academics, the journalists, the politicians, have all been through the postage stamp download and accepted it. So, if you look at the institutions of the world, the society, people go through the education system and they get the program, postage stamp. They then go out into these institutions of medicine, and journalism, and science, and corporate world, politics, whatever. And they take with them that core programming of normal. There they meet people who've been through the program before them, the people of the institutions, and now they're all confirming to each other, because it's all they've known, that the postage stamp normal is how things are. So a journalist who wants to do a story on a medical situation will not go to an alternative practitioner who may have had tremendous success with it. He'll go to a doctor, and the doctor will give him the postage stamp version of that problem. If they want to do a story about reality, not that they very rarely do, then they'll go to a scientist who'll give them the postage stamp download of reality, which is basically a load of crap. And this is how the whole program works. So I'm a politician. Let me tell you what we should do. I'm an academic. Let me tell you what to believe. I'm a scientist.